Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome to today's messages. Let's tune in. Dragonfly. Sorry, I got caught up watching the dragonfly. Little nod from the dragons. I got my dragon earring on today. Love from the elementals. If you're open to the subtleties of their gorgeousness. Fairies, dragons, who else? Fairies, dragons, unicorns. Of course. The horses, of courses. Oh, it's gratitude came back today. And growing older. Okay? Having gratitude for the blessing of growing older. I mean, it is the blessing. Because if you are growing older, that means you're alive, right? And we are stepping into our era of aliveness on all of the levels. Gratitude, right? Wisdom that you retain, all of the things. Have gratitude for every day that you're getting older. Some people aren't as privileged, right? They don't get to grow older. And, you know, there's pluses and minuses in all levels. Okay. That's a 26 and a 38. Which is, what is that? 68? No. 74? 64. 64. Maybe. Which is a 10. Oh. Tens are biens. Okay. Let's see what octavians. Okay. They got things to say. Frequency. Duality. And is this one loyalty? It just might be. What is it? No, it's openness. Openness, duality, and frequency. Okay. So, yes. This is the thing about growing older, right? It gives you time to tune. And so be grateful that you are allotted the time to tune, right? To tune your frequency into that sweet, sweet spot. where you are open to receive gorgeous things from the universe. And this duality here, getting this little atom and then zooming in. It's like the potential that exists in and around an atom, right? Because we got the nucleus and all the protons and the electrons and swirling around, and it's just waiting to create bonds so that it can have this beautiful community all working together for some beautiful creation, which is you. Okay. Something like that. Beautiful. Frequency and openness and duality. This is the thing with duality, right? It's an awareness of it and a wholingness of it. No. Like, because you're aware that there is duality in this world, your awareness of it creates a bond. Haha! Atoms. So, same as like, I understand I have light and I have shadow, right? And my awareness is my tipping point that awaredly, I'm making up words today, just today, choosing, right? Or awareness of which, and then counteracting. This is the dance of living. This is the balancing point, right? When we're not aware, then we're tipping off all over the place and we just don't know, right? This is that unbalance, this is the dysregulation, all of the things. The awareness is the thing that brings you in. Dragonfly. And unifies the duality, was my point, right? You become the third element that locks it in. So we've got the yin yang symbol, right? Which I jammed in here and now I can't get out. All I could, I'm sure, if I tried minimally. Where are my words today? Okay. So like, this is the union, the balance of the two elements, but all together it creates the symbol. The symbol is butterfly, whole, right? But it consists of separate parts, something along those lines. Of you being that joining force, right? Your masculine and feminine within, your awareness that you are both masculine and feminine, that there are both the being energy and the doing energy. And by balancing these aspects with your awareness, with your tuning and maintaining of your frequency, this unifies the whole. And when it comes to getting older, I mean, experience, right? Having something to look back on, to reference to. This is where wisdom is mined, right? Through awareness, reflection, and consideration. It's like having the experience of going this way all the time and it leading to not good, right? That experience, when you head down that road again, you're like, I know what happened down that road. I'm gonna go this other way, right? We can apply You can't do this unless you're alive, unless you're getting older. Every day we get older, every minute we get older, every second. But also this idea of growing, right? This steady unfolding, the beautiful bloom, right? However long that takes. We've got Isa. Okay, giving me magician vibes with the one there, with the eye. It's not a one in the rune. It's a symbol. It's a staff. It's a connection point. It's a solid line. It's stillness. It's a stillness. This frequency of integrated duality and openness. Openness to receive. We cannot receive information, guidance, inspiration if we are closed off to it, right? Okay, where are we? We're over here. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Transformation and celebration. Okay, yes, time to celebrate your transformation. Your everyday is another opportunity to carpe diem, right? To seize the day and make it gorgeous. Okay, beautiful. Yes. This is how you settle in to the frequency of gorgeousness. I got the goosebumps. Okay. This frequency. Again, gratitude, right? Gratitude. Beautiful. Openness to perceive the gorgeous abundance that is all around you. And holding that frequency. Also considering what getting older means, right? Which is why I was trying to highlight this like everydayness. So to not attach it to aging and, body degradation and decay and, all of the negative connotations that come with growing older, right? Because, and return it to what it is. And it is a growing, it is a gradual progression. It is the flow of the river. It keeps flowing. It keeps flowing. And however long we get to flow, have gratitude for it. And make it magical. right? Make it magical. Okay, we got the Eight of Swords coming out again. And yesterday, this one was the things that keep us from our knowing, our intuition. But up until yesterday, it's been I guess it's kind of been slowly adjusting its meaning. But it was my boundaries, right? Creating boundaries around yourself. And it still can, because I think this one represents like deceit, deception, doubt, fear, isolation, all those kinds of things. But I'm seeing boundary, right? This wall of swords in between this figure and the moon and the intuition, your inner knowing, right? So I want to say it's also like on the other side of this, right? It's like this is on the other side. So there's like a holding self back, or a tendency to block ourselves off from gorgeous things. This could be linked to ageism, right? Whether inherited, imposed, or not, we have this thing in our minds that when you get to a certain age, you can't do this. And when you get to a certain age, you have to have this or be doing this already. And these things can limit us, because instead of growing at our own speed and blossoming in our own ways, in our own divine timing, and giving ourselves the permission to do this, we start to impose unrealistic and non-resonating restrictions and limitations upon ourselves. And I think that's when the growing older starts to really show externally, is when we're feeling it on the inside. And usually it's the result of denying aspects of our child, our inner child, to shine through, the playful, joyful, youthful spirit that wants to roam free inside of us. But we, through childhood trauma, through conditioning, there's all kinds of reasons why the inner child gets locked away, right? Gets stuck in a box and forgotten in the attic, and it gets dusty and it gets bored and it starts to rebel and haunt and not work for us, right? Okay, we got the signs and synchronicities coming out again. Yes, this is your indicator, your sign, okay, to recognize and be open to receiving the signs and what they're telling you. Go within, recognize, see, feel, explore all of the things. I also, this mindfulness too, creating the boundaries internally around anything, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and otherwise, that create a separation for us, right? Recognizing, seeing, and like, oh, I see a wall starting to form. I must be, denying, suppressing, something's going on. I gotta go in there and make sure we remove those swords, right? So no walls are formed. This is the thing with boundaries. You recognize in tandem not making boundaries for other people, but also the making boundaries for self, right? To support your success. I know I tend to overdo something in this area, so I am going to put things into place that help me to recognize when I'm starting to go there and to not, right? I mean, it can be so many different things, but say like scrolling on your phone, having an alarm when you pick up your phone, right? And have it go off in 10 minutes. And so you can just scroll freely. And then when that alarm goes off, then it's time to put it down, right? This is a way we can set ourselves up for success. In the same way, when the doubts and fears and the thoughts are like, you can't, and imposter syndrome, and you aren't, and all this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. Time to call in my cheerleading squad to speak louder than those guys, right? You can do it. You're awesome. You got this, right? All of those. Okay. And then show gratitude, right? Show gratitude to the situation as an indicator where you're at. Show gratitude to your awareness for catching it and seeing that it's not serving you, and gratitude for your ability to change direction, shift your focus, do something different. Okay, we got the maintaining emotional regularity. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is your power. I'm getting, because where I was talking about the love train, gratitude is the fuel of the love train, right? And this emotional regularity, your nerve system being calm, peaceful, and this is your momentum. So I'm getting the train in Dumbo, the train scene, as the circus is moving to the next location. When the train gets to a hill, it's like making the train noise, and then it starts to morph into I think I can, 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 as it's like climbing this hill, because it's carrying all the circus, and then once it breaches, is that what you do? What you do at the top, you breach, and then it turns into I knew I can, I knew I can, I knew I can, right? And then off it goes. So it's like the momentum that you build, and the maintaining of your frequency, that frequency of flow and ease, of peace, man, of the peace, man. What's this? It's your ships coming in. Okay, yeah. Your momentum is like a clear pathway. Now it's a plane. Okay, it's not ships, it's plane. And you're on the tarmac with your flashlights, okay, and you're doing all the, not that way, because you're like, go this way or that way, surprise me. No, you don't want to do that. It would not make a good plane director. Okay. Okay. What do we got? Okay, so this I think is talking about the stillness here. Okay. This is that period. We've been getting the lion coming out, this conserving of your energy. You want to be GTG, G2G, good to go, right? When the plane lands, when the ships dock, when the train gets into the station, okay? And so this card here is about this honoring self and giving rest after much hard work, right? And if you look at this is like all the swords that you recognize are starting to create a wall between you and your intuition, your doubt, your fear, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs, right? Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're pulling them out and you're putting them to rest, okay? And then you deserve some heal time. You just removed, 4 swords out of you. And so allow yourself the time to heal, to acknowledge, to see what that feels like with not having that in there anymore. All the things. It's part of your recuperation. This is part of your duality, right? There is a time to act, claim, take, make, right? And then there's a time to rest, to rejuvenate, to recollect, and to conspire, right? Like you would if you were drawing out a vision board or whatever, right? Or like sometimes before I change stuff around, if I want to do a big switch around, I'll sketch it out first. I'll sit down with my tea or my coffee and I'll start like, okay, if I put that there, then where's this going to go? And I try to get a good sense of all the things. And then usually what I'll do if it's big things is I'll do a measure, because it's one thing to like draw it out and make everything fit, but it's a whole other thing to like move the stuff and make everything fit. So I'll do like a quick, just yes, that would work there if this was here. And then it's go time. Grab the vacuum, because I'm also cleaning everything as I'm moving everything around. It's very efficient, okay? But there's been times where I just went all action. I'm gonna make it happen. And then halfway through, everything is crazy up in the air. I've used so much energy moving that all the way across the room to find out that it doesn't fit and I don't actually like it there. And where's everything else gonna go around it? Because I didn't consider it, right? So take the time to rest, for stillness, right? And find your balance in there between your prepping and your action. Okay. Let's see if anybody else is coming out. That one? Death wants to come out. Okay. So, yeah, this transformation, but also an awareness of the balance, okay? Too much resting, and then you're going into stagnancy, right? Not enough, and you're burning yourself out by too much action. So I feel like because we've got these two coming out together, okay? So this is, I mean, this has been coming up for us. Yesterday it came up 3 times because it's really, Spirit is really wanting to hit home that the old ways are done. There may be some echoes, right? And the echoes are just as important as the transformation because it's an opportunity for you to recognize the shift, the change, the difference, the old way from the new way, and to be sure to keep picking the new way, right? This is part of the veer. It's like, I guess it's almost like taking that road, the exit off the highway, right? There's that point before you're actually on the road, you're still the off ramp where you can see the old way was going that way and this new way is going this way, right? And this off ramp period of certainty, because there's a point you can be like, oh, I took the wrong way, and so you want to go back and come back around, right? Or yep, that's the old way, yep, this is the right way that I want to go, okay, and we're off and on and merged and in and on it, right? Okay, but then we've got the Page of Cups. So the new way is speaking your manifestations into being, right? This coherency between your third eye knowing and your voicing, you're speaking it into being. The power of your voice as mine turns into a frog. Okay. Beautiful. I did just want to put this one down here as I was shuffling, because this is what we're anchoring in, right? This is that old chute, the old road that we are off ramping off of. This is the remnants, right? The point of reference of like, yep, that was the old way, and look at me, I'm on the off ramp now, right? So that's what we're grounding in. We're also clearly recognizing when that old road reappears, right? Oh no, that's that old road. We don't need to be on that one. We're on this one, right? Because then we've got the Chariot coming in, okay? And this one talks about timelines rearranging to meet you where you're at. And this is where you're at. This is where you're heading. This is where you're going. This is the road that you are on. So many analogies, and they are all relevant. Okay, multidimensional. Yes, we are. We can be all the things and none of the things at the same time. Okay, let's get a closing message. The Chariot, the movement, it's happening because you're maintaining your frequency. Okay, look at this craziness. There's nothing more for you to know, okay? You just trust what you can't see. That's what this is saying. Trust the unknown. Trust the gradual enlightenment, right? The enlightening, the moon phases, the darkness slowly brightening as the moon builds, right? This process, the divine timing of it all. The things behind the scenes, beneath the surface, blooming in their divine time. This brings me back to the growing older, right? Allow it, you, whatever it is, to bloom in its beautiful divine timing, and don't rush it, don't force it, right? When you try to force a butterfly out of its cocoon before it's ready, you doom it. You doom it, right? It doesn't develop the muscles it needs to fly. Very important. I was doing that. What was I doing? I was doing something with my shoulders. And then I'm like, this is what it would feel like to fly. And then after like, I don't know, 5 minutes, I'm like, ugh, that's tiring. And I started thinking, like, no wonder butterflies, when, they come out of the cocoon, they have this period. This is the off ramp period, right? Where their wings are unfurling. And then there's a few times where they flutter a few times. Well, they're developing the muscles, right? And feeling it out, because yeah, they got places to go. Okay, let's move on to another deck of some kind. We've been doing those guys pretty regularly. Let's get a crystal card. I feel like maybe it's been long enough since we had one of these guys. Yes, you don't want to rush things, right? You don't want to rush that cake before it's all the way cooked. We don't want runny, yucky dough. You don't want to force the things to grow before it's ready to bloom. You don't want to eat the seeds before they grow. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Okay, we got a 19. A 19, which is higher truth. Beautiful. Transformation, boom. Growth, boom. And movement, boom. Okay, discerning your truth is an ongoing process of discovery, as each new experience provides opportunity for insight and reflection. Beautiful confirmation, full circle moment, right from the beginning here. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Listen to the quiet voice of your heart to discern your truth, okay? And that's what this connected line is, right? It's this connection, higher soul star chakra, third eye, heart space, right? Root and earth star chakra, this line, this plug point, this tethering that makes you the conduit, the bridge, the tipping point. Okay. This card is a powerful omen that indicates your recent thoughts and feelings are aligned with your inner knowing. You are guided to express these truths through the choices you make on a daily basis. Yes. Allow these truths to empower your life so you can be fearless and step into the universal flow of creation. Boom, bada bing, right? The universal flow of creation. What you speak into being. And this gorgeousness, okay? Yes. Your inner wisdom will guide you towards realizing your fullest potential. Trust your inner knowing and embrace your highest understandings. Gorgeous. Okay, beautiful confirmation. Confirmations from the crystal deck. Boom. Boom, bada bing, a ding. Boom, bada bing, a ding. Okay, let's get an animal oracle. So, yesterday I came home from an errand and looked outside, and my fence has like tiny little gaps. They swell shut in the winter, but in the summer, as the wood dries, they get a little bit wider. Anyways, I can see when things move around behind it, right? So I can see when somebody's walking by or whatever. And I noticed what looked like an animal butt. And so I kind of peeked through and I could tell that it was a deer. So I came upstairs to look out the window, and right there was this doe. And it was kind of like looking around, and then it itched its ear, and then it nibbled on a couple dandelion leaves, and then it itched its other ear. And I'm like, it's so cute. And it was just kind of looking around. So I came downstairs because then I'm like, oh, I wonder if it'll let me come up and look over the fence, right? So I go downstairs and I walk over quietly and I pop up, and nothing. There's nothing back there. There's no deer for miles. Okay. So I don't know where it went or what happened, but it took off. It took off very quickly. And yeah, it felt like a spirit animal or something. Or another message from spirit or something. I don't know. It felt auspicious. Okay, we got the mouse coming in today. The mouse. What does the mouse say? What does the mouse say? Earth? Something about details. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, and nervous. Okay. Is this some of this old stuff? I mean, we can also get caught in this loop, right? We take the off-ramp and then we get confused. Are we going the right way? And so we go back and we come back around, and then we're on that road again, and then we see the exit and we're like, oh no, that's our exit. And they take the exit off, and then is it? And then come back around, and we can get caught there for a while. Okay. The mouse has an intimate desire. Nope, not intimate. Okay. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. Okay, so that's that stillness and self-reflection. Your openness to receive information, perspective, and assessing, right? What boundaries need to be created. What is not serving, right? There is a point. This is part of the duality. There is a point of preparation, just like, I can draw, I can sketch out, I can, plan, but eventually you have to do it. And there are things that you just don't come across. Like, the measurements might be right, the thing might fit there, but when you actually fit it there, it blocks this other thing that when you're in your favorite spot looking, you can't see, and that's no good. And so that's got to go, right? And so you got to adjust, you got to make the adjustments. This is about your finding your balance and recognizing when you're lingering too long in one area or the other. Find your balance through your stillness, right? Through your connecting. And yeah, that trying to control all the details. It's like I find myself, the minute I'm like, okay, whatever, I surrender it to the universe, my brain automatically is like, it could be this, or it could be that, or it could be the other thing. It's like it still wants to guess. It wants to know. It wants the satisfaction of being right, right? It wants to be able to say, aha, that was one of my guesses, right? But what it does is it throws out all the possibilities that it can fathom. So one of them's got to be right, right? And this is rivulets. Your frequency, just hold the gratitude, hold the love, let the universe work on the details. Something like that. Okay. Okay. Let's get a kitty card. That's the thing. I can't think of how it could be, so therefore it can't be. That's old way of thinking, right? The universe and all its cooperative components, its divine orchestration, it's multi-dimensional leveled. There are things and ways that things can happen for you that are beyond what you know to be possible. So don't suck the energy out of it by trying to guess. Instead, know that whatever it is, it's going to be awesome, right? Know that whatever it is, it's going to be aligned with your greatest and highest. That whatever it is, it's going to be something that you are grateful for, and it's aligned with your heart. Play. Meet Pippa of the Dream Circus. Some kitties come straight out of the imagination to remind us to play. There's that inner child, right? Here is to a moment of dancing, twinkling toes, and laughter. Where most only see empty air, Pippa sees colorful tweeting birds doing a tantalizing minuet and errant butterflies playing peekaboo, urging her to the chase. To play is to do something for the pure joy of doing. It is a frolicking mix of experimentation, curiosity, and absurdity. Where can you let more of Pippa's playful spirit and light-hearted air into your work and your life? By taking your inner child out to play, right? Yes. Cute. Okay, awkward box time. So funny, we try to control so many things. And I mean, a lot of it that is born from trauma, right? You're like, other people controlling your life, your thoughts, your whatever, not your thoughts. And so you try to take back control by controlling things that you can, right? And then it starts to run rampant. Okay. Sexy bath time. Yes, treat yourself good. This is part of this rest and restoration. Take the time. Value your vessel. Let it rest. Let it rejuvenate. Let it feel gorgeous. Let it feel gorgeous, okay? Clean your space is another way. If you want to control something, then control your environment. Start moving things around, dusting, getting rid of stuff, purging, rearranging might be a good thing for you because it came up in today's reading. Peaceful nervous system. Okay, confirmation. Yes, this is your momentum that's getting you to gorgeousness. And you've got this. You've got this. You're on the exit. You know where the exit is, right? We're on various stages of exiting. Whether we're, just see the exit sign is in the next 200 meters, right? Or we're on it and we're recognizing the old way is there and the new way is there, or we're backtracking just to be sure that we took the right exit. But we're in the vicinity, okay? And this is good. This is good. So this is part of the tuning, okay? This is part of your frequency adjusting, which is a direct result of your life experience, right? You're growing older. Every day is another opportunity to put into practice the thing you learned the day before. This is what growing older gifts us. This is why today is the present. It's a present. It's a gift, right? Okay. Couple charms and then we're done. That felt like a lot of charms. Not too many. Okay, let's discover them together. Okay. So, yes, okay, there's your faith like Jesus and your heart here. And the angels. Okay, so this is your nitpicky, trying to control all the details over controlling, and this disconnection, right? This is what we're grounding in. But this is also a necessary part of our heart strengthening process, right? It's all part of the process. That's the beautiful thing. We've got you holding your faith like Jesus, right? Regardless of, this is the redirecting, this is the recorrecting, this is the awareness, the mindfulness of when you are off course, when you are using your energy on things that are out of your control, right? When you're stuck in the illusion of, I'm controlling things, look, but you're not. Not helpfully, anyways. Okay, yes, we've got the kitty cat here. Okay, so this is trust your transformation. You see, you know, you feel, you recognize, and that matters. That matters. Okay, this was here. What do we got? Oh, we got the twin flame butterfly. Okay. I don't know if this is something you are speaking into being. Unfortunately, the twin flame process I don't know if it's unfortunate. People romanticize the twin flame journey, but it's really about self healing and integration and getting to a place where you are prepared to exist in a world without your without somebody without somebody. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's like you gotta detach from the idea, but also this inner knowing. It's a whole thing, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. This is why it's not it for everybody. We have soulmates, we have soul ties, soul connections. The twin flame journey is a whole other thing. It's dependent on two people separately going through the healing journey, becoming whole, independent, and then also coming together. And the rarity of that happening for two people who are also each other's people. It doesn't happen all the time, okay? It doesn't happen all the time. You're just, if you're gonna wish for anything, just wish for a soulmate, okay? Just somebody that you can spend your life with. That's gorgeous. This is a whole other thing. Okay, but let's say the two butterflies is your masculine and your feminine within, which is the first part of the twin flame journey, is this balancing of self. You got to get yourself to the front of the love train, and the other person, your person, has to get themselves to the front of the same love train. You see what I mean? And you have to be at peace that they might not get there, or you might not get there. And then it is what it is, right? And then it is what it is. Okay. We've got a koala over here by the heart. So this quality of your thoughts, of your words, are going to have an effect on the things that you manifest. Yes. We've got abundance blooming here. Allow the things to bloom in their own time. There is your magic. Trust in your magic. Okay, and then we've got your angels making sure that there is a solid dock for the ships to land on, for your ships to land on. Okay, we do have the two swans here. This is beautiful, and it is protected, and it is something that you may be intuiting. So there is a love connection of some kind that is gorgeous for you. Oh, what's this? Peaceful heart. Yes, that's what we're going for. This is actually, yeah, right? Peaceful heart, nervous system, this blooming abundance. Okay, then we've got the community coral. This is something yet to be revealed. This could be a soul tribe, right? This could be a community that love and support you, that you love and support in return. And we've got a turtle here, okay, under the or near the things working beneath the surface, behind the scenes, your faith, your trust. No matter how slow it may be, excuse me, it may be slow going, but it is still going. Okay, so hold gratitude for all the gorgeousness and stillness. Okay. that is what I have for you. That's what I have for you. Okay, I try not to go too. It's hard. It's hard to put into words. It's a whole thing. It's a whole lifetime of things. Um, it's levels. It's all kinds of things. Okay, but from my personal experience, it's not something that I think everybody realizes how intense and crazy it actually is. Okay. So, yes, I love and appreciate you. See you next time. Bye.